3, 2, 1, live. And we're live. What's up, Sir Legna? How you doing, man? What's up, Super Smash? You're listening to Goo Goo Dolls. And I don't want the world to see me. Wait, no. Back when they were a punk band. Oh, okay. I didn't even know they were a punk band. Hey, Polka Latte, how are you doing today? What's up, everybody? I'm Drifting Gaming. T went to a doctor's appointment. She's got to do regularly scheduled doctor's appointment, and she had to go. So she will be out. Sorry for the inconvenience for those of you who didn't come here for me. I did some work on this project off camera yesterday. I downloaded a bunch of other idle games, and I was looking for some inspiration. I want to look for new ideas. And I did see something I want to do in a different one. It had a lot of, like, every time you scrolled over something, you had text pop-ups boxes. So, like, hover over has a lot of pop-ups, and that gives information as you, like, hover over things. So I'm going to definitely add that sort of feature soon. Also, there's a lot of, like, it looks like really old paint type of bitmap art style in a lot of them, which, like, I mean, I'm kind of a fan of, but I don't really want to do too much of that. I liked it, but at the same time, I kind of would rather have a very sleek, dark theme UI. So for the main menu or the title screen, we'll have a, like, that background. Maybe we'll leave this same background, but, like, when I click on Lumberjack, I want it to be different. I don't want it to be the same background. So what we can do is just do that inside the engine very easily. What did I do off camera? I changed some layout. You know, some things look a little bit different. I'll always be moving that around to make it look as good as possible. I added the mining section. Right now I still have to do a check that makes it so you can't do both of them at the same time. I changed this up so that when you stop your task, it says current task nothing, and this goes to 0. I made it so that this no longer checks only Lumberjack progress, max progress, and experience, max experience. Instead, it checks new variables that are set through common events that will dynamically update depending on what's running. So if I'm mining, then it'll update to my mining progress. It'll say that, and it'll show the level of where I'm at. And SRD put out an update. Well, I don't know if he's released it yet. He might do it publicly. I think he probably will. I haven't found any bugs with the new patch, but do you guys remember yesterday when we were trying to figure out how to get away from the extra pixel that was stretching? And, like, for example, when we get this log right here, we had it, like, stretched 3 times size. Oh wait, I've already bugged it out because it's running both at the same time. I'm gonna fix that. I was working on that right now. So alright, let's click on this and that should fix that and up to date. Okay. So you know how, like, this icon, once it gets stretched out, it would have, like, that line of pixels along the edge? There's a new plugin parameter in the HUD Maker Ultra plugin, and it's called Use Precise Icons. And if it's on, icons will have more precise rendering, but may be slightly less performant. I haven't noticed any performant drop-off, but there's only, like, a niche case of what would cause it to have any frame rate loss. And that is, like, if you have, say, the icon being drawn as a variable. I have, like, a million windows up. Please forgive me for being slow going through menus. Windows. Rather, whatever. But, like, say I wanted to show an icon. Let's do a new component. And then for the icon index, I choose a variable that, like, changes every frame. Like, that could cause some problems. It could create some lag. But I don't know why you would ever need to do that. I don't really know why you would ever need to do that. Yeah. So I don't think it would be an issue for anybody. Maybe someday. I doubt it. I don't think it's an issue at all. In fact, by default, this is set to be false. It's a new one, so it's off. It's using the regular one. But I think he said something about making default be the on case, because, and I would say so, because then when you stretch out your icons from the icon set, it doesn't draw like the 33rd pixel. It's confined to its 32 by 32, and he explained to me how it actually works. It's creating a copy of the icon when you draw the icon. Instead of actually drawing it from the icon set.png, it's taking that section, creating a separate copy of it, and then stretching that copy in Pixie, because otherwise Pixie doesn't know how to stretch it without showing the other pixel. So it makes it work perfect with no artifacting, at the cost of a tiny bit of extra resource, but not anything you would notice. Like I said, except for the niche case that you'd use like a variable to change the image that was supposed to be drawn like every frame or something. So that's a huge improvement for me, because now we can stretch out all of our icons to 300% if we want to. But what I've noticed after keeping these back at 100%, I like them this way. So while I still will have icons showing 300%, like right here, you see it's actually stretching out. So it's starting at 100%, going to 300%, and becoming opaque as I'm gaining the item. I get that item, it shows up right here, and you don't see the little line above it. Like, it got rid of all the artifacting. So that's great. How are you guys doing today? Did you try Dragoncliff? Yeah, I have Dragoncliff. That was a good one. Let me show you the ones that I've downloaded. I haven't even tried them all yet, but like, I'll show you what I've got going here. So I like this one so far, Wizard and Minion Idol. I don't really know too much like of what the frick I'm doing with it, but it seems cool. There's a lot here. There's a lot going on. There's definitely a whole lot in this game. I'm still confused on what most of this stuff does. It does come with a tutorial, but like, it's pretty bare bones, which I prefer to be kind of less on the tutorial side and more like play it and figure it out. So I mean, I've got this one running and I'm sort of playing it, but not really so much. So I think like I can go like 10,000. I can select how much I want to allocate. Like boom, 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 boom. 50,000. There we go. Yeah, this is like increasing your defense, and this is increasing your offense, so that you go up in stage, and like as you constantly fight creatures, you gain gold and stuff, and then you can, like, I don't know, this one's cool. There's a whole lot to it. So Wizard and Minion Idol, I like that one. That one's a recommend from me. It's free, so that's good. My favorite is this one so far. It's called Melver Idol, and this one's $10. But man, I really like this one. This one is good. This one's got a really good like inventory system. And I'm looking at all these games to steal ideas, gain inspiration. Yeah. You logs. Oh, wait. Did these go to... Oh, there they are. Okay, boom. Wow, I've already got 2,000 of them. Okay, so let's change that up. This one's the most advanced, coolest looking one I've seen yet. And it's using a Node.js runtime environment, which, you know, I'm going to admit, it's just much better than what I'm trying to deliver. And this one is $12 or something? $10? I think it's $10. But it's definitely really a good one. So I like that one. That one's Melver Idol. Now, I have a bunch of other ones that I haven't really tried yet. This one I played for a couple hours, and it's not the worst one I've seen. I'm going to start it and show it off as an example. But it's kind of weird. Like, you create clones of yourself to like let you do multiple things at once. Where's it at? Here it is. Yada 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 yada. Okay, play. And like, you know, you have your things at the top here, and I kind of want to do this idea too, where you have buttons at the top and you can cycle through your things. This one's got lots of achievements and stuff. I'm not really sure if I want to add a bunch of achievements. Some people like that sort of thing, but I never really cared too much about the achievements. Yeah, this one's definitely more weird than the other two. And the thing about this one is it's a lot of analysis overload right at the beginning. And it goes straight to super high numbers. I don't really want to do that. I want to start small, like maybe let you get into where you're showing exponential numbers, but not right off the bat. This one goes straight into the millions and exponentials and stuff. Like, I've only played 2 hours and look, I've already got like millions of health. You can rebirth your character and like, I don't know, there's lots of ideas. This other one, Wami, this one also has like a reincarnation where your stats start over, but like you get some bonus for doing that, which is an interesting idea, like new game plus sort of thing. Hey Black Ruby Raven, how you doing? I solved the icon problem. Well, technically the way my solution was to not stretch the images, and that fixed it. But then I asked SRD about it, and he just this morning found a way to just make a copy of that image and stretch the copied image instead of stretching the icon set. So, and then he updated his plugin real quick and sent me a copy. So that was fantastic. So a quick solution. It was a bug that everyone faced, and now nobody has to deal with that. You can just stretch any icon set to whatever you want. So that's cool. As soon as it gets published, I'm sure he's doing other stuff, so I don't really know. But anyway, Idling to Rule the Gods, it's not one I'm going to continue playing, I'll tell you right now. But that being said, I do like the slick background. It's really basic, and I appreciate that. If I go over here, or is it which one of these? Config, you can see it's got different user interface settings. So maybe I'll do something like that. Take the idea of allowing the player to change their... Wow, that's hard on the eyes. I prefer the default one here with black as a background, dark theme. But so even a game I don't like and don't plan to play, I can look at it and be like, it did this right. I like how it did this thing. For example, the UI. I actually like letting you select different themes. That was a good idea. SRD's HUD Maker did the same thing with allowing you to have 2 different themes, I believe. Let me double check. I remember having something like that. Change settings. Right here, change theme. And you can build your own theme. So that's pretty damn cool. This goes to the next level. You get to have your own theme. I like the default settings as well if you on the blue one. I think it looks super good, and I don't want to mess with it because it looks, the dark blue tint default theme is really good. But I think I want to use this idea as well inside of Ronin Idol, and let the player decide what the user interface should look like. For now, I'll just keep it simple and select the one that I think looks best, but then towards the end when I'm looking for new features to add, adjustable, player adjusted UI. That's a really good feature. I do feel like I want to, I'm going to forget stuff. I constantly, so I have this up. I was going to write features, feature ideas. So this stream is basically me trying to find feature ideas, stealing ideas from other things, and implementing them in my own way, and also maybe fixing some bugs, hanging out with you guys. It's Friday, thank goodness. I looked on Craigslist, yo, and I found an accordion. It's not a new one, it's a very, very old one, but it seems to be in good condition, and the guy is selling it really cheap. So I might go get an accordion tonight. Yeah, and I don't have to spend a ton of money to do it. Yeah, used instruments for the win. Yeah, it's gonna be tight. Hey, Black. Yeah, props SRD. Yeah, SRD added a cool thing. That's twice now that like I've mentioned a complaint, like not expecting it to get fixed, and he's just like, typey, try this. So that's pretty sick. Accordion is a sex move. It is. It really is a flex. The first song I'm gonna learn is Under the Sea. The Disney Ariel. Under the sea. Everything's wetter down where it's better. Oh, wait, the opposite. You know what I'm talking about. Drifty was on the wrong part of Craigslist. Surprisingly, there was a ton of options on Craigslist. Looking for new ones, like you're definitely gonna get a better accordion. Like the ones they make now, they have what they call wet tuning. I know it's relevant, right? And what it basically is, it's a set of 2 reeds, and one is slightly detuned. So one is like 440, and then the other one is like, I don't really know the frequency for A4 is the middle A, but it's probably like slightly higher or slightly lower. And so you get a chorus effect. When you play a note in unison, it makes it louder. But if you play the same note that's just slightly detuned, not enough to make it sound dissonant, just slightly detuned, you get a chorus effect. Like if I were to turn this up, this is gonna play my voice and also play my voice again, slightly detuned, but at the same time. And that's essentially what a chorus effect is. So let me turn that back down. So chorus, so they have that French sounding wet tuning in the new ones, but they're like a lot more money. They're like 3 times the price, 4 times the price. So, and they're smaller for that. So I wanted a larger one with a higher range, like 72 bass notes. And I played piano for a couple decades now, so I can do lots of things on the piano side of the accordion. But as far as like the bass buttons, that's going to be all new territory for me. I've only played like a cheap little like $20-$30 kids accordion before in my life. So I'm really excited to get that. I know it's distracting. I'm trying to focus on what I'm showing off here. Feature ideas, player, adjustable. Wait, able, adjustable, user interface, extra themes. Right, those are some features. Where am I gonna save this? Save this inside the project folder. We'll just call it idle game feature list .text. This is to help my small brain so that I can look back and be like, what should I do next? Let's look at the thing I need to add. And then I can go down and be like, oh, I can do that like this. And there we go. Give me ideas. So, yeah. I do want to do a battle system, and I'm not sure how I want to do the battle system. I don't want to rush into making the battle system because there'll be a lot of other variables that come into play. Kids accordion sounds like what you get for the child of someone you hate. It was a lot of fun though, believe it or not. And that's not true. It actually sounded really good. I actually gave it away to my brother's kids, and I love my brother, so. He was learning saxophone, and I saw he had like a musical ear, and I'm a music major. I don't really do much besides do it as a hobby, and my brother also is into music. He's a drummer and plays other instruments too, and so we kind of have a musical family. you know, I don't really see them anymore. They're in California and I'm in New York, so that's kind of sucky, but we both, I'm sure we're all still into music and stuff. When I was a kid, I used to think like, man, I want to do music as a career, and then I was like mid-20s, late 20s, working at a music school, doing music as a career, and I'm like, this shit sucks. And so I decided music will forever be a passion / hobby of mine, and never will I try to make it the thing that provides and pays for my bills. And I've loved it again ever since then. Ready Player, what's up, dude? How you doing, man? Do. Oh yeah, I was showing off different idle games. So here's the next one, The Magician's Research. You know, I've never even launched this one, so we're gonna launch some idle games and try to get some features and ideas that will be fun or good. Is this loading music? This one's got music. I'm gonna mute it though. Wait, is there no like... there should be like an on-off to let the player know. You know what I've noticed about a lot of these idle games is they seem like they're all indie developed, and for the most part they're pretty like not great games, you know, but like I like the style of games, and I can put up with a lot of different things if I like the overall core game loop. This one actually looks pretty good. I was surprised when I clicked this that it didn't like highlight or, you know, have any type of effect when I click on it. But Mad Labyrinth Studios, huh? It's probably one guy. Let's go ahead and start a new game. Oh my, you must be the new recruit. I am Aliceth, the master of the Mages Guild here. So it looks like, this looks like some live 2D stuff, doesn't it? Like he's got some spine happening right here. So maybe MZ's got, I think Archaea was showing off some, whoa, is this timed? It's just like timed. It's definitely just drawing sprites now that I look at it. Yeah, it's just a sprite that's being wiggled. No, wait. This guy's live 2D. This guy's a live 2D. These are wiggle sprites. These are sprites using some wiggle manipulation. I'm totally not following the tutorial here. Tap the enemy to do extra damage. Particles. This guy's using particle effects, which we're going to be using. Absolutely. We're going to add particle layers. Okay. Oh, I like how he's doing the damage. He's showing 2 HP bars. Do you see, like, when you take a hit, you have like a dark red that trails the HP as well. That's a cool little feature. I like that. Who's messaging me? Thank you, CW, for becoming a $30 subscriber to the Patreon. Appreciate that. You'd love to see me play your game. Cool. Send me a download link. Oh wait, is that it? No, yeah, send me a download link when it's ready to be played, and we'll set up a time. Appreciate that, CW. Would love to play your game. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Yeah, they're doing some wiggle stuff, and we could totally do all of that. There it is. Paradise Delta by Stay Awake Games. Oh, that's a nice loading, or a nice title screen. It's ready. Ooh, cool. Okay, well, let's see. Monday, I thought I had something on Monday. I don't see it written down. I think I have something on Monday. That, or it was this Monday? This Monday I had to do an announcement. I think that's what it was for the Komodo Game Jam. Okay, so how about Monday? Cool. Maybe we'll be doing a first impressions on Monday, which would be June 28th. 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yeah, I like that. The trailing bars, like for damage and stuff. HP bar damage trails. I think if I write that, I'll know what that means. And I'll put in parentheses secondary. So let's take some more ideas. HP bar damage trails. Second, and in parentheses, secondary. Secondary bar? Yeah. Gauge that looks darker and moves slower. Cool, cool. That's a good idea. Oh, another one, obviously, I said earlier. Mouse, hover, window, pop-ups. I want that for sure, some of those. We've done that feature before when I was working on a clicker game at the beginning of MZ. Hey, 44 Coast, how you doing, man? Hello. Welcome back. If you want a great game, says Sir Legna, the Progress Quest. Damn, what a terrible name. I can't even say it. The Progress Quest. Oh no, the Pure Idol game. Hey, Ready Player. T is at a doctor's appointment, so it's just me hanging out, chilling, stealing some ideas from other games to add into my idle game so that I can feel justified in charging for it. What's up, Wrath of Wood? How you doing today? Hey, Durant. The trailing HP bars reminds me of Gray Life in fighting games. You like shaking HP bars for more impact juice? Well, this game isn't going to be like the most impactful. It's sort of an idle in the background. So I'm not going to do any screen shakes or like lots of sound effects, if any. I think I will add sound effects and music, but as an option. I will default them off, and then if you're interested, you can go into the options and turn them on. Most games will default them on, let you turn them off. Maybe I will default them on when I add them, because I do have some of my own music that I've created recently. Ready Player says, Driftwood Gaming, please help me. I have a Friday AMA question. Help me. Well, tell me your question, Ready Player, and maybe I'll be able to help you. No promises. Every time you get more wood, shake the screen and rain confetti. I could do that. It would not be hard to do that. I just don't think that's a great idea. Excuse me. 1 second. I'm going to turn the AC. It's going to degrade audio quality slightly. But a sweaty, agitated Drifty will also degrade stream quality. Naturally. CW, oh no, Stay Awake Games is working Monday through Friday. 4. Aw. Well, I mean, we only stream that time, Stay Awake Games. 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday, Friday. Yeah, I mean, they turn into videos afterward, so like you can always watch it afterwards and anytime after that and link to it if you want to show people. Oh, right, Wrath of Wood. Multiple health bars. Like if you have a green bar, then a yellow bar, then an orange bar, then a red bar, etc., etc. Yeah, yeah. I've seen that. That was really popular in fighting games in like the late 90s. Or was it early 2000s? Sometime around there. How can you do a nice screen shake when there is an impact in battle? Oh, is that your question? Okay. Easy. Super easy. I think I need to demonstrate, I have to open up a secondary project. So let me go ahead and save this. Make sure it's all saved up. I'm going to do the middle mouse click on this icon and it'll create another instance of RPG Maker. And I'll just do new project and we'll call this example. We'll call it blank default tutorial project. Default tutorial. Yeah. Epic project. No worries, man. It's good to see you. Thanks for coming to the live stream. Stay awake. I'm chilling. It's Friday. It's pretty low key right now. If you have questions, I'll take my time and go slow and try to answer them. So the question we have right now is, how do you do a nice screen shake when there's an impact in battle? Let's go to game, open folder, and I'm going to navigate to some plugins. You're going to want to use some plugins. You said battle, and we're going to use the default battle here. So I think I'll go here. Wait, what's the most up to date? Probably the amalgamation. JS plugins. We're going to take a couple of plugins from Vigistella, the core engine and the battle core. And there's another one. Action sequence camera, impact projectiles. That's really it. We'll copy those and just game open folder again. JS plugins. Put these in here. We will not need these, so we can just get rid of those. Okay, here we will add the plugins. First, the core engine. Then we will add a battle core. And then we will add action sequence. These are all free, but actually, no, they're not. The action sequence camera, action sequence impact, and projectiles are not free. The only one that you have to pay for is the action sequence impact. But, I mean, honestly, if you're serious about making games, you probably already paid $100 to Vigistella and bought the rights to all of their plugins for MZ. Or their current packs, whatever they included in the $100 pack, which is like almost everything, if not everything, plugin wise that they do. I mean, it's so much work. It's a team of people who've been working for like a year. And everything they've created, working months nonstop, essentially. It's a small price to pay. Would you be able to trigger a shake in a common event from skills? Yeah, but the question says nice screen shake. So we want to do a nice one. So we're going to do a very simple action sequence. So we're going to go to common events and we're going to call this simple. We'll start action sequence. So I'm going to do that. AQ colon space simple. We'll call it nice shake. Hey Jason, nice shake. Really, Boro? You're not gonna buy it because you don't because you want to like change the code itself and it doesn't let you. Like the plugin parameters let you add your own code. You can literally, you don't need to go into it and change it. Like they give you so many breakpoints inside of, like they let you inject JS into the plugin through the parameters. I mean, have you looked at it? I feel like you're copping out there. But you know, it's up to everyone to make the decision for themselves, and I'm not trying to twist your arm either way. I'm just saying that doesn't seem like a valid excuse. It doesn't matter to me, really, if you get it or not. I mean, I think it's worth it, and if you want to inject your own code, there's plenty of breakpoints inside the plugin parameters that allow you to add your own things and change existing code that you don't even need to look at the source. You don't. The only reason you'd ever want to look at the source is to try to make a plugin compatible with yours, or to steal ideas on how to code things. Like, unless you're doing that, like, really don't need to. Like, let me see how you did it so I can make something like that in my game. Hopefully not just copy pasting shit, you know. You can change their code in the plugin settings. Yeah. I'll show you right now. In lots of different ways. You know, not every piece of code, but like there's plenty of points where you can inject your own code, change the way that it runs existing. In fact, there's too many plugin parameters that let you do it. There's like so much you can do, it's overwhelming. But like you can't please everybody, right? Because you have people on your side who are saying, you don't let me do that enough stuff. And then you have people saying, there's so much stuff I don't know what to change. And it's just a really rough position to be in making plugins, so I don't really do that. I mean, I do, but like for myself, and they work in my own projects, but they won't work like on a massive scale. Oh, you want to do Monday? Okay. We'll do Monday. Stay awake games. I'll write it down right now. Stay awake. I've got a whiteboard over here. Games, aka CW, first impression, Monday. Bam. I got you, boo. Alright, what the frick was I doing? Plugin commands. We're going to go to the core, battle core. And then we'll say action sequence. We're going to set up an action set. So we're going to say display action, just mostly default. The next thing, plugin command from the battle core. We're going to do we're going to do a move event. So we'll do motion. Nope, not yet. We're going to move to target, move to targets. The user will move to current target, scroll through to the current target, and we'll leave most of this default. Sure. New plugin command. It's really simple how to write action sequences now. I really like it. The MZ adjustment to plugin commands, mwah, the greatest change. What do we want to do after we go to them? Let's do a focus point. No, we'll do focus targets. We're going to focus on the user. Wait for the camera. Yeah. We're going to focus on the user, and then we're going to do something else. I don't know. We're going to create a custom action sequence. Simple battle core free plugin. Of course, I'm using some camera, and I'm using some tier 3 plugins. You don't actually have to pay $100 to get these. You can get these for like, I don't know how much, don't quote me, but $5, $10, something like that. If you just go for those, or those packs might be in a pack for 20 for a bunch of other plugins as well. But if you just pay 100, you get everything. It's so much worth the value. I know that's a lot at one point, but like if you're serious, if this is your hobby and you plan to do it for more than just a few months. New plug, I agree, Wrath of Wood. Some plugins are like learning an entire new language. But the new version 1.3 update that allows you to control F inside the plugin, inside when you're looking at the plugin, that's a huge bonus because the plugin parameters are so large. You need a large help file to describe everything that can be done and how to do that. So now you can control F and find that stuff quicker. So that's a good update from GGG, the subsidiary of Katakawa, for RPG Maker MZ, which is published by Dejika, which is now known as Komodo. Okay, where was I? It's focusing. Okay, so the player setups the action. You see the title. It shows the starting. It'll do like the action animation, or not the action. We'll do the first animation. Then it moves across to the enemy, and then it focuses on the character, the user, and then we want to do some kind of like action, right? So let's do an action. Motion. Perform action. No, like action effect. No, effect is the issue of damage. Shit. We'll focus and then we'll do a color break. Sure. Color break. That requires the action sequence pack impact. We'll do a color break and then we'll focus, change the focus again. Let's just copy this one and paste this. But this time we'll focus on the target. So now that we'll focus on the target. Current target. And then we can do another plugin command, battle core. Motion attack. Motion perform your action. So let's have the user perform their action. And then right when that happens, we'll do an action effect. So that's a mechanic. Action effect. Action effect is actually going to issue the damage of the attack. So we're going to put the action effect on the current target. Oh no, we need to do action animation because we're making the actor's sprite move like his attack or do his thing, but we need to do the animation before we do the action effect. So battle core, action animation. That's under animation. So simple. Action animation on current target. You're studying common event menu? That one's a good one. It has a lot of presets. Visual parallaxes and visual fogs. Those are pretty good. So at this point, action animation, then it does the action effect. And that's basically it. We want to move the character back to... Oh, we forgot to add jumps. Let's add jumps. Battle core. We're going to add 2 jumps in here. Oh, actually, there's another one we can do for action sequences. Angle. So let's change the angle And we're going to make it a, I don't know, 45. That's kind of probably too much, but we're going to exaggerate for now. So we're going to change the angle right before the action animation. So you're going to look like you're attacking, the camera's going to turn, and then the action effect, the animation is going to play, and then the damage is going to be dealt. But what we want to do is also reset the angle. So we'll copy that. After the action effect happens, we want to put the angle back. So we're going to reset angle. And also, during this part when the screen is tilted, right before the action effect, we're going to insert a new plugin command. And the whole point of this was to show how to make a cool, nice looking impact. We're going to do the impact now. So scrolling down to that mechanic. Where is it? Oh, it's in here. We'll motion blur screen very quickly. And add the impact. Shockwave at point. Right there. No, shockwave at... Shockwave from target center, and where? What target? We're going to say current target. Current target. Cool. That's our impact. A screen blur, a screen tilt, and motion blur, and the actual impact, motion blur screen, change angle, perform action, action animation, motion blur screen. Shockwave is supposed to be, so you get hit and then shockwave, or shockwave and then, yeah, you get hit and creates the shockwave, and then it resets the angle. And then we need to do another thing to like finish up our, oh, that's another new thing that was added. Remember how script calls used to be limited to just like right here, and then you couldn't add any more? But now they'll just keep going down, and you can have more, longer, better, bigger script calls. MZ 1.3, that's a really good update. Shout out to GGG. We have to finish up our action sequence here. And it's just like a finish action. Let's see, where's that at? I'm sure we forgot something, but we'll look at it and see how it goes and change it. Oh, jumps. We have to add jumps. So let's do our finish action. Right here, it's at the top. Let's go to the bottom and try to find it. So we need to do moving the character to a point, jump to point, and jump to point. So right here, right after the setup, we're going to make the character jump. So battle core. Here it is, jump. Make the user jump. We'll keep defaults and change as we need it. Copy this again for the next move. So move to targets, and then if we have another move, we jump again. So after the reset angle, or actually before the reset, after the shockwave, we're going to have the user jump again and move one last time back to the home base. Battle core. Motion, move, home reset. It might be home reset. Move. Yeah, have them move back to their home positions. This is it. Have all the alive battlers go back to their home. we'll just have this user move back to their home. So they jump and move back to their home. But we're not waiting for the jump, so you don't just jump and then slide back. You're going to jump, and then without missing a beat, while they're in the air, they're going to be moved back to their home and wait. So they're going to jump into the air and land over there, and it'll look cool, hopefully. And then there's a finish action. Okay, so now that we've got this common event, right, we've made our action sequence. All we need to do is create a skill, and we'll call it Nice Impact, Jason. That's the name of our skill. And I don't know, we'll just give it like this, sure. And it'll be a special type used on one enemy for the occasion battle screen. It's going to cost nothing now because we're not trying to make a balanced game. We're just trying to show off an action sequence, so it'll be free. And we'll say it is a physical attack, and we'll give it an animation. We're definitely going to want to give it, it doesn't really matter. We'll just give them that. Maybe hit makes more sense. There we go. And we'll say uses, and it will do HP damage, normal attack, and it'll be 100 plus A.ATK times 4 with no minus, can critical. And we need to assign the common event for the action sequence to it. But that's not all. We actually have to type in custom action sequence in there. So we are assigning we make the common event, we assign it in the effects, and we give it the note tag to tell it to use that. I'm sure there's a whole bunch of defaults that I didn't set up right. But that's fine. We're going to use side view battle system. We're going to use time progress active. And we'll make an event too. This is a default project to show off an action sequence. You can see it's a completely new project, so we'll be able to do this right off the bat. We'll select Reed's class. He's got Swordsman, so we're going to go to Swordsman and just give him that move, the Nice Impact Jason at level 1, so he's got the skill. What level do they initialize at? 1. Okay. And then we'll change the starting events, starting characters, to make it faster so we don't have a bunch of stuff that we have to enter in. We just got one guy. And now we'll have enemies that are already made, great. So troops are already made, great. So I can create an event here, and this event will just be like this dude, sure. And when we interact with this, it will do a battle processing, and we'll fight some goblins. Can't escape, can lose, sure. Obviously, brand new project, there's probably something messed up, right? Like I probably didn't do so. Oh, I'm playtesting while I already have a playtest running, and you can't actually do that, so you have to close another playtest. Go back to this and try it again. Chris William likes the common event menu. It's pretty good. All right, so we have music playing twice. This one from my playlist. This is MZ music. Get that paused for us. All right, default tutorial, new game. We'll have an action sequence to show off that we just made. Probably way too loud because this is what I was talking about. Let's see here. Sure, there's this one. I've got too many things running. Oh my god. What's making the music? This one. This one. There we go. Alright. It's probably fine now. Oh no, I got paralyzed. Damn it. Why did goblins paralyze? This is terrible. Come on, man. Well, how about that? Time to get paralyzed again. The defaults are so bad. Alright, so we have our special. Nice Impact Jason. Bam! 45 is way too much. And why is there a long delay? What's causing that long delay? I'm gonna do something and make him a little bit higher level starting off, because this is stupid. Level 10. Also, skills on the enemy. Body slam, you're gonna do that less, okay? So our action sequence, we seem to have some weight. We jump, we move to targets, then the camera focuses. Oh, so let's get rid of the weight. Just turn off the weight for the camera focus. Color break. Another camera focus. Turn off the weight because I feel like there's just too long. Some shit's taking forever in there. Perform action. Change angle. 45 being way too much. So let's go 15. Also turn off the weight for that. That's what I was talking about earlier. I'm like, obviously there's going to be some things we got to fix. Action animation. We don't want to wait for this either. Just fly through it to make it fast. The motion blur. And then action effect. Blah, blah, blah. Don't wait for the jump, but do wait for the home reset. Reset angle. Don't wait for the reset angle. And then, yeah, wait for the end. And then that should look a lot better, and we should attack a lot faster and get paralyzed less. They should poison too. Special, nice impact, Jason. Still landed the paralyzed. Okay. Also, the hole being in the middle of the screen is quite annoying. So let's fix that. And on troops. Why are they right there, man? I mean, when they're setting up the defaults, I wonder if they're actually game designers. They're software developers. There it is. There it is. Do you guys see that? Obviously, the ATB is not the way I would want it to be, but whatever. So look, we use our skill. Boom, boom. All this stuff happens. That's a nice impact, right? You get some tilt, a little bit of blur. The camera action doesn't really come into play because we're not waiting for it. Also, the resolution, like the aspect ratio, doesn't really lend itself to that. Let's just take more close attention. I don't feel like we got any camera happening at all. Like, there's no zooming in or focus at all. So the camera is being just retarded. Like, it doesn't even... I don't need that in my action sequence. But, like, that's a pretty nice impact. It needs work. Obviously, it's not right yet. The sword's coming out too fast. We do need to leave a weight in there. So let's add a last minute adjustment and look at it one last time. So we do need to have a weight after the action effect. Nope, after the action animation. So action animation, weight. Yeah, this is one we do need to have the weight on for. It goes by too fast without it. And also, let's delete the camera focus. We don't need the camera focus. It doesn't seem to be doing anything for this particular setup. So get rid of the camera focuses. So the whole setup is setup action, jump, move to target, color break, perform action, change angle, action animation, motion blur, action effect, shockwave. This doesn't seem to be doing... Is the shockwave playing? I'm just not noticing it, huh? And then jump, and then back to home, reset the angle of the camera, and finish the action. So I think that's going to look better. You know what would actually make it look a lot better, too? If we went into here and we said, let's just make this standard HD. 1280 by 720. That'll be much better. And let's change the UI to match 1280, 720. Use up that real estate properly. It'll stretch, I believe, because the core engine will stretch things. Yeah, there you go. So it's stretching that out. New game. Obviously the map. It That looks much better, right? Got our nice impact, Jason. Bam! The impact takes too long, and the reset, like, I can go on and mess with this for another 20 minutes, but, like, there's no need, right? I would change the impact to happen faster, and I would use a different battle system so you're not watching the bars fill up. You can input the plugin command for Shockwave without the impact plugin, but it doesn't do anything. Did I install the Shockwave plugin? Impact. I did, though. It's there. So that's why I'm wondering why it's not working. Doesn't seem to be doing the blur or the shockwave. Isn't that strange? One last quick edit. Shockwave here. Act sequence impact. I mean, we totally have action sequence impact in here. Target, current target. That's weird, isn't it? Do we need to be using a specific battle system? 1 second. Let's try this. Let's take the CTB. That's much better system. Battle system CTB. Copy it, paste it in here. We'll add that CTB as well. Does need to be above here. And then in the battle core, I believe we set this to BCTB somewhere in here. Or is it the core? It's the core engine. You go into the core engine and say, prefer to use CTB, charge turn battle. Maybe you need one of the battle systems as well to get the impact to happen. That's the only, because I didn't test it without using CTV. I've seen it work before. So special, nice impact, Jason. Straight to it, bang. Nope, it's still not working. Why isn't the impact working? That's a question. Maybe add a little shake and have a little tilt. Could do a screen shake. For some reason, our action sequence isn't working. The shockwave isn't actually working. Let's play this music here while we're... This needs to be a quarter of the time. 15 to reset. And also 15 duration. That's a quarter of a second. 15 frames. We don't seem to be getting any of the impacts. Like anything that's impact doesn't seem to be working. I wonder what's up with that. Maybe a plugin I have is out of date. Huh. Okay, I guess I'll just try to download the newest version of Vigistella's stuff. Let's see here. Core engine, battle core, we took those. So that would need to go in here. Oh, did I copy them? It did not copy, paste, overwrite. Okay, so this is the most recent according to their all waves bundle. Maybe it needs visual state effect. That's not that one. Okay, hold on. Battle system, CTB though. Action sequence camera. That's one that could be updated. Here's the CTB. Copy, paste that in here, replace that. Oh, it needs the filters. It needs this one, doesn't it? Yeah, it needs this one. Public 0 Pixie JS filters. I'm stupid. It requires that. I think it even says that in the help file. Here's the projectiles. Even though we're not using it, we're making action sequences, so I want to put that in here. So many good plugins. It's really, really good. Okay, so that's good. We've got the most recent up to date on those. So all we have to do is left click in here, press Control A, and then right click and hit refresh. That'll update. You saw the version numbers changed on a lot of these. So yeah, my plugins were out of date. They're constantly working on them, constantly fixing bugs and improving them. So that's good. But we need to add the Pixie filters. I mean, this is why it wasn't working. You need the Pixie JS filters. So you put that at the top, and then updating the plugins and adding the filters, that should make it so that it actually looks the way that it's supposed to look. Okay. The camera zoom might actually have been working now too, but I took it out, so it's whatever. Nice impact, Jason. There you go. There you go. Do you see what I'm talking about? Oh, we got double music again. There we go. Here we go. Look at that. Watch. Boom. Even 15 degrees is a lot. Why don't I change it to like 5 degrees? Change angle to 5 degrees. Play this music again. And reset. Should just be the same. Yeah. And that's basically it there. Now we have an action sequence, which I'll share with you guys. Let's right click and copy as text. And I'll put this inside the Discord. Links in the description. Come join us in the Discord, where you can get stuff. And I'm going to go bop, bop, bop. Paste this in there. Bop, bop, bop. Might be too many characters. Oh no, because I can add more characters. This is just stuff from the live stream. Context, in context of the live stream. There, and like that's the basic action sequence that I've got set up for whoever was needing that. Sorry, whoever's talking, I didn't mean to interrupt your conversation there. Okay. I want to look at it one last time, and then I'll move on to the next thing. The only reason it took that long to do it is because I had to set up a new project. But like, if your project was already set up, then it's just making that quick action sequence, right? And then, nice impact, Jason. Beautiful. It looks cool. It's simple. You show up and just it shakes the screen. It goes blurry. Shockwave happens. It tilts a little bit. It all happens quickly, so it doesn't feel like it's too much. You know, it doesn't take forever. And then you deal with making the numbers work. That's just for the looks. Yeah, I didn't have the pixie filters, Chris. I'm reading back chat. Trying to read here. You've got a question about assigning buttons for what, HUD Maker? Go for it. Friday AMA, ask away. It doesn't have to be about, you know, HUD Maker or about Vigicella or action sequences, whatever you want. We'll try to answer your questions. Anyway, I'll minimize this project for like if I need to bring it back up. Tutorial stuff. I copy pasted the action sequence and the RPG Maker MZ channel, by the way, if you didn't catch that. So you can see the things I put in it to make it faster. Super Smash says, I want to assign different things to different button presses, like pressing the spacebar to jump. Okay, and you're unable to do that? You're asking how to do that? Button common events, man. I mean, you're going to encounter some problems. You have other issues when it comes to making a platformer with MZ, right? Or any RPG Maker engine, really. You want to make a platformer, you're probably better off using a different engine, just to be honest with you. Game Maker Studio 2 is what I would recommend. You could use Pixel Game Maker MZ if you want to. But anyway, if you decide you want to make a platformer, if you really want to make a platformer in RPG Maker, you can. It's probably not going to be as good as it could be in another engine. Obviously, you don't go to a steakhouse and order the pizza, you know. Go to the steakhouse and you order the damn steak, you know. Go to the pancake house, you don't order waffles. You order the damn pancakes, you know what I'm saying? Where's Waffles anyway? I haven't seen Waffles in a while. Waffles, are you lurking? What you doing, man? What you been up to? Button common events. You also need a key remapper. I mean, button common events is a key remapper, Zarsla. Let's go back to the tutorial project and open the folders and put in button common events. Actually, inside of MZ, button common events is in the core engine, isn't it? I believe so. Good luck finding it. It's in here somewhere, I'm sure. Let's just press Control F. Button common. No? What about button? Next. Buttons. Buttons. Oh, button is such a hot one. There's like a million of them. Keyboard input settings. Hey, the Control F worked. GGG. Thank you. If a controller is connected upon entering the game, blah, 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 blah. Controller button is pressed. Controls. Name, input. Oh, no, that's not what we're looking for. Okay, whatever. Find next. Next. Oh, gosh. Common event. That's not gonna help us. Keyboard input. You know what would be cool if we had a PDF file that showed you where, like, okay, so for MZ you have one plugin that has parameters that has like 100 different plugins from MV. It would be cool if you could search for an MV plugin and find what plugin parameter it's inside of MZ. Do you know what I'm saying? Like if there was a PDF file where you can search, I know that this is called yep _ button common events. Where is that functionality found inside of MZ? And then like it would like point you. The PDF would say this function is inside of core engine under the button plumb mapping whatever section. That would be a cool PDF file. What's up, Nowis? How you doing? Anyway, I'm looking for button common events inside of... Oh, wait, isn't that a standalone? Isn't that a standalone? Well, I didn't add them yet. Okay, I can find it. Hold on. Button common events? Is it in here? No. What about wave 2? Button common events. It is a standalone. Great. That's good. It's not actually in a parameter of another bigger plugin. It is a standalone. So we'll just paste it in here and we'll add that to the plugin list and then we'll do it. Button common events. Easy. I like it. Okay. Here we go. So you said spacebar, huh? Can we use spacebar? Spacebar is usually okay. Set up the common event settings for this key. Common event number 2. Will it overwrite? You know, because spacebar usually is used as okay. Will it still work as okay, or will it be something different? What the fuck is this? JS position? Container button, some calculate coordinates. I have no idea what this is supposed to be for. Showing the button on, I don't know. I know what this means, and this means. Button icon? Right. I guess when it shows the keyboard mapping, you can show where... I don't know, whatever. We're going to say spacebar to jump. Okay. I mean, you're going to have a lot of issues. This isn't like what I would suggest you do. But, like, you can just space button. And then when you press space button, you do a movement route. And you say the player is going to... jump wait I did this before in MV a long time ago. Was it like this before? This is asking for X and Y. Wasn't there like jump up, jump down, jump right? Jump 0, 0. Oh, plus X plus, right, go up. Okay, it's not jump to a coordinate, it's jump in what direction. So let's jump. Adding to Y goes down, so subtracting will make them go up. Alright, so like that. Jumping up. What we need to do here is a conditional event. So this is just a little bit of, excuse me, logic to see what direction we're facing. So easy. Character player is facing up with an else branch. If the player is facing up, then you're going to move them there. Else, conditional branch, paste inside of here. Adjust this to say if they're facing down, then what you're going to do is add one to the Y instead. Okay. We do want to skip if cannot move on all of these instances in case so we don't lock up the game. Copy this, paste it in the else handler, change this to say if the player is facing left. We're going to equalize the Y to 0, and this is going to be subtracting will make them go left to the X, and adding will make them go to the right. Skip if cannot move. Copy this, paste this inside the else handler. If the player is facing, you can actually leave this last part blank. Just say else. You're going to make them jump right, but they've got to be facing some direction, right? So it won't really matter, but like as a good rule of practice, you could just add the condition. This will be adding one. That way you don't get an unpredicted thing. This last one also doesn't need an else handler because there's nothing else that could happen. But you could do else break as a safety. Whatever. There you go. I don't know if it's going to overwrite the action button of spacebar. Key space cannot be bound. It is forbidden. This is what you were saying. Okay, so it's not letting me. It's saying keyboard space cannot be bound. It is forbidden key based on your plugin parameter settings. So you can't overwrite space. Is that what you were asking about? Like, how do you overwrite that? So Zarsla is saying you need a Keyboard input plugin, a button remapper. Okay. You weren't set. Okay, you weren't set on using spacebar. You just wanted to use that as an example. Okay, so it's much easier if you don't use it as space button. Let's make it C. Is C used for anything? Well, it is now. C button. We'll make jumping be C, and you can change it to whatever you want. But we do need to go to the plugin parameters and adjust that as well. So spacebar doesn't do anything. It's 0. None. But we'll make the letter C, which is not bound by anything, actually use common event C button. And now, because of our common event that checks what direction we're facing, we'll move the player around, and they'll be jumping around the map. Like I said, you're gonna have some issues, like with paths. Jumpy, jumpy, jump. Jump, 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 jump. So if I face down and I press C, my character jumps down. If I'm facing right, he jumps to the right, jumps like this. You can actually have them jump 2 spaces each time if you want. So you've got some jumping mechanics in your game now. I don't know how you want to make that apply. It's really up to, look, you can jump over obstructions this way. Boing, boing. So you have to consider that as well. Because you'll be able to jump on walls, over everything. Also, it's really weird that we got these little 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Look at all this hate that I generate. C. There you go. Zarsla's got you covered. Put that in the MZ chat, Zarsla. Yeah, you can jump onto everything, says the Nerd Mansion. What's up, Nerd Mansion? Didn't see you there. Final else, I'll say, as a safety, he jumps into space into a hidden dev map. I was saying that from the beginning when somebody asked about making the character jump on the map. I was like, well, you're going to have some problems with this because you're going to jump over everything. You have to run checks in your condition to see if that event exists there, and if it does, then don't allow. So you would have an else handler on that. So you would need nested conditions to make sure that you don't allow the player to jump on things that are obstructions. I mean, really, if you set your events up and you have your common event that runs exceptions, you don't need to do any like tile set changes necessarily. Anyway, I think that answered the question. Let me know if you need anything elaborated or gone over in more detail. Can you jump off the map? No, because it doesn't exist, and so the data can't be saved in the JSON if it doesn't exist. I mean, you can, but like you have to do it in a specific way, like this. Like, let's increase the width to like 25 and like 17 for the height. And then you change the map so it's like, oh, this is off the map. Shit, give me this. Whoa. That did not do what I wanted. So like, all right, yeah, we can jump off the map. Oh, we're off the map. We jumped off the map. There we go. boing, 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 boing. You have issues with this. Like if you save your game, let's try to load. Let's try to save the game with us in the bottom right. I wonder if it'll remember it. Maybe it adds to it. Let's see, game end. I'm curious, would it break it? Continue. It remembers you there. Okay, shit. All right, some shit changed. I made a video on this and I remember jumping like, well, let me save. Game end. It's been years. Okay, no. Yeah, you can totally jump off the map like that. Boing, 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 boing. And it even saves your position. Like if you're like off the map a bunch. Watch, I'm going to go down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now I'm going to go up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like, it just remembers. That's pretty cool, actually. I like that. That's cool. You could, but I don't know, like how do you, oh, frick. I'm curious. This is just like super secret idea here. Like, let's make a conditional check, conditional branch that says if the player, oh, we have to do a quick tracker. All right, tutorial on how to make a tracking event. Common event, this will be player tracker. It's just going to track X and Y. So we'll create a variable and we'll call it player X. I'm sure you guys have seen this before and maybe use this. Set to game data player map X. Character map X. Let's copy that, paste that, and change this variable to be number 2, player Y. And this will be map Y of the player. And this will be triggered as a parallel process when switch 1 is on. Player tracker, player 1 is on. We're gonna make, we're gonna copy this and paste this here. And we're going to delete this, and we're going to call this initialization. And then in the skills, we're going to change this common event to be that one, of course, to match up. Then in the plugin parameters, I'm going to use the core engine's quality of life settings to call common event 0 on new game, so initialization runs. And then when initialization runs, I'm going to turn on the player tracker. The switch, control switch. Player tracker is on. Now, the players X and Y will always be dynamically updated, and we can check to see where they're at. How would I show this? Oh, HUD Maker can show this. All right, so let me save this project and let me go file, close this project nice and easily. Let's open a project and go to this project real quick. And inside of default tutorial game, blah blah blah, delete everything, delete all of this stuff. I don't need the tutorial on this right now. I pretty much know most at this point. So we're going to use the map HUD and we'll do a component and we're going to just show the text, and this will be player X, and then the text is going to show the variable, actually player text, this will be so we can know player X text, and it's just text, default family is fine, and it's just going to show this like down here, actually up here, not right here. And then we'll add another component. This will be text again, but this will be player X value, player X text, player X value, and this time we're going to say variable, show us what's in variable X, blah 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 blah, right there. This will be like that. In fact, I want to align it to the left so we can have it like that. And this will be aligned to the right. Beautiful. And then what I'll do is I'll copy this and paste this right here. And we'll call this player Y. Oops. Beautiful. And we'll copy this, paste this, put this in here. Player Y. And show variable 2. Easy peasy. And then we'll save this, and then it should just automatically show if we put this plugin in, which we will. So let's go to plugins for default, and then plugins for this is amalgamation, which is going to take this, this, and this, copy these 3, put these in here, all nice, and oh yeah, add them. Put in the base, put in the Ultra, and I'm not doing anything that needs the Ultra Pro, but since I've got it, might as well use it because it will let me do the extra stuffs. Alright, so then we play and we go to new game. Now we get to see the player's X and the player Y. Really nice, right? So I want to see what it says when we jump off the screen. It just tracks it. It literally just tracks it. Okay, will it track negative? So that means you can add super secret room. Look, it tracks the negative as well. Dude, that's so cool. Okay, so say you wanted to make a super secret room with jump, and you're like, if the player goes to -1, -1, then they teleport to another map or something. It gets the super secret event. So in your, you can have a parallel that runs here. Parallel process. And the conditions are variable player X is, you see how they do this? I wish they wouldn't be like this. Greater than equal to -1. No, I want it to be less than. Alright, let's try this. What if we just do a condition in here that says if the variable player X is equal to -1, we have another condition that says if the player's Y is also equal to -1, then we can like say, congratulations, you found, congratus, you found the boss, the super secret level, whatever. And then we do need to do a move event, otherwise it'll just keep doing this and won't let the player move. So movement route, player, jump down, jump by adding 1 to the Y. Skip if cannot move. And then you can just do whatever you want, like 1,000,000 gold. Change gold. You know, that much gold. It'll track. That's pretty cool. I like that. Boom, 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 boom. Congrats, you found the super secret level, and it jumps you down automatically. Otherwise, it'll just keep spamming that. But of course, it's just going to keep checking, so you can go back and get it over and over and over. This isn't like a great idea. It's just to show you that you can do something like that. And it tracks you even if you jump off the screen. How about that? How about them apples? Always tricky to find ways to make these non-RPG Maker default mechanics. Sometimes the fun part is to work out how to do it. Yeah, that's true. Jump 500 units off camera and see if it records. I'm sure it will, because can it store 500 in a variable, Polka? It can, so it'll just put you there. But wait, there is a map size limit, Polka, so you might be onto something there. What is the map size limit? It's 255 by 255? So we should jump like 260 or 270 or something and see if it like glitches out or something. Oh, that sounds terrible. That sounds like an awful idea. I don't want to do that. I'm gonna do this while I'm reading. Eat protein, carbs, and fats in a 1:1 to 0.5 ratio for optimum energy. You mean 0.5? 1:1 to 5? So you're saying eat 5 times as much fat as the rest. I know what you mean, Blood Tree. You mean 0.5, right? So you eat twice as much protein, twice as much carbs as fats. So your diet would be a 4:1 on fats, like 2 parts protein, 2 parts carbs, and 1 part fat. We're getting there. We're getting there. We're on 181. There might be a buffer, right? I want to jump out of, like, what is the map limit? I haven't even tested an MZ. I'm imagining it's the same. Is it like 256 by 256? Let's go to 300. Let's go to 300 on the Y and see if it logs. 0.5 is 0.5. Perfectly legitimate way of writing it. Is it? Is it though? I don't know. I'm not trying to argue a semantic here. I don't really care. But it looks wrong to me. But I've been known to be wrong before. So we're 304 down off of the map. And we saved it. If we... 304. So if we game end and we try to load, what happens? Does it still remember? It freaking remembers, yo. It just remembers, and it lets you jump around. So it just stores in a variable. It just stores in a variable, y'all. Are we jumping up the y-axis? We're jumping down to see if it will store the data if you save and load, because there might be a map size limit. In fact, let's create a new map and go 999 by 999. Look, 256. You can't even go. You can't even store 257th tile. If 0 is counted, 258th. Anyway, by 260, it shouldn't store any data, but we jumped 300 tiles off, and we're able to continue and load. And we are 304 tiles down. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, if you add to the Y, it goes down, and if you subtract, it goes up. Because this is 0, 0 in this corner, and then this is your game's resolution, in this case 1280 by 720 standard HD. As far as screen res, but the game also works like that as far as X and Y position is concerned. So that's the screen, X and Y, but it's also, I'm just doing new game so I can show. As you go to the right, it adds to the Y, and as you go to the left, it subtracts. As you go down, it adds, and as you go up, it subtracts. You can see how that works. Anyway, well guys, I think that's gonna do it for the live stream. If you guys have any other questions, spit them out now. Lily's gonna wake up and she's at the doctor's, so when she gets up, I have to kind of be listening and get her up and stuff. I do want to see if I can fix a bug real quick. Let's go ahead and save this project and close it, and open up my other project I've been working on, because I have a bug, and I mean, it's not really a bug, it's just a thing I haven't added yet. It's a limiter that hasn't been put into place yet inside the Ronin idle game that I'm working on, and it lets me train both mining and lumberjack at the same time, which is not intended. So I have to put in a check and balance to, oh my god, RS, there it is. So inside of the main menu, So I need to put a check and balance inside of this game that stops me from letting mining or happen if you're currently like using lumberjack and vice versa. So maybe I encapsulate the entire event. I'm thinking that would be the simplest way to do it. Just save it in case I do something stupid and need to cancel. Let's start with lumberjack. Here's the function that does all of the things that's running and adding. And maybe I just check to see if I'm currently mining. So I'll do a conditional branch and say, is mining on? Am I currently mining? With an else branch. If mining is on, then do something else, and on the else handler, everything else takes place. So if I'm mining, then I turn mining off. Control switch. Mining is turned off. And then I would click again, and it would see that I'm not mining, and it would use the else handler. The thing is, every time I add a new type of skill, I'd have to run another check. So I'm thinking, what if I had, let's say, crafting? How would I do it for the next one? Before I go and propagate this system, make sure it'll work when I do more than 2. All of the variables are global. Unless you do a script call where you're using let or var. For example, if I do a script call here and I say let x equal game variables dot value 1, and then I say like game message dot add x, it's gonna work, right? It's gonna know what x is. X gonna give it to him. What, right? It's gonna know what that is. And let's script call test, and I'll try to demonstrate this. Let's run this script call at the beginning of the game, so it just does that first. Let's do all this stuff and say new common event. Actually, yeah, we'll do a common event. Call the script call test, right? So all that's going to happen when I start the game is it's going to say what's in the value of 1, which would be the fuck is it? It's like it'll just show a number. I think it'll be 0 or 1. Right, and this is not a global variable. X is not a global variable. Let is the same as var essentially, except it's using ES6. So let's start a new game. I mean, not a new project, but let's play test. And that common event is going to run at the beginning of the game. So when I start a new game, it's going to go blah blah blah, and it's going to do a show text, or it should. What did it say? Oh, I'm fucking dumb. Sorry, hold on. In variables, I know this. All right. 1. You see how that works? Now let me show you how these will not be global variables. Why did it actually work? Well, because locally, in the scope of this script call, it knows what x is. But let's take this out of here, and let's define x here, and do another script call right after it. Will it still remember? And inside of MV it didn't, but let's test it. Let's see if it will remember what x is, a local variable that we declared above it, if it's in a different script call. Will it say x is undefined? I think that's what's going to say, unless MZ has updated that and made it better. Now look, x is not defined. Reference error. So that is demonstration that script call variables that you declare are not global, but instead local. You see how it didn't show the message, and instead it, even though it's in the same common event, because it's not in this script call, it's in another script call. As soon as this script call finishes, it will dump out of memory any temporary variables. So it says for one frame, it knows that game variables, that x is equal to whatever is in the first variable. But then as soon as this closes, it's going to try to do this in the next frame, or in the same frame, but like right after that in the order of events. It can actually do like 2 million things in one frame. It will try to show a message with the value of x. But it works if it's in the same script call, because it's defined and it's locally available. It knows it's there. But because it's dumped out of memory, it will say x is undefined if you do it in a separate script call. Isn't that cool to know? I mean, it sucks when you're limited by tiny script boxes, but just recently the engine has been updated, so you're not limited to this tiny script box. Now you can keep going, and the script box is bigger and badder, and you can do all of your code inside that script call, and you don't need to write a plugin because you need one more line of space. So I really like that, and it was kind of an interesting thing to know. I found that out when I was trying to figure out what's going wrong with the HeMateWorks plugin. But anyway, back in like the beginning of MV, holy shit. Time flies, man. Time flies. I've been watching tutorials where plugins are used with the notes in MZ. The notes? What do you mean the notes? Comments? Or note tags? You mean note boxes? You can reference them here too. As long as you're, you know, like a plugin gives you an exception to. Like, what plugins am I using here? I've got items equip score, so I can go to items. Let's go to items equip score. What can we use in the note box here that I would reference? A variable. Okay, so look. Here we go. Let's see if it'll let you do it like this. Sometimes it'll let you run an eval, and sometimes it won't. So let's test to see if we can adjust the price. Oh, we'd have to have a store. We can open up shop processing. Let's set the price of this item to a variable. $game variables dot value, and we'll put in variable, I don't know, 99. Right? And then at the beginning of the game, hold on. Does music stop? Just got quiet. Anyway. At the beginning of the game, we'll say variable 99 is like, I don't know, 1,000 or something, whatever, arbitrary. Because I'm curious. I'm not sure if this will work in MZ. Let's find out. Let's use variable 99 and call it test value. Okay, and we'll set it to 99 as well, so it'll be 99. And then we'll also do shop processing. So input shop processing right at the beginning of the game. We'll say you can sell a regular log for the standard price. And it says 9 here because the standard price is 9 for that log. 9, right? So if this works, the price will be 99. And for clarity, I shouldn't use these same numbers. I'm going to set the value to like something else to not confuse a new person, because I can see how this would be very confusing. Because you're using value that's stored inside of a variable 99, even though I set it to be the same. So hold up. Let me make it a little bit clearer. Variable number 99 is going to be set to 777. Now you know that we're referencing variable 99, but it's going to look at the value of that, which is 777. So when the game opens up it should tell me that the price to buy the log is 777 if this works inside the price note tag of this specific item's Vigistella core. And it's up to the plugin dev to make that work, and there's a good chance it won't. But let's see if it will. Curious. Can we put an eval for something as like price? Nope, it doesn't work. It doesn't crash, but it doesn't work either. It just keeps the regular price of 9. So I wonder if we can try it this way. Let's take this same script call, and when we do our input shot processing on our common event, and we say specify a price, can we? No, we can't do a script call here, so it doesn't work like that. So no, that doesn't actually work. The goal wasn't to make it change. It was just to see what would happen. So we're fine with this. So you can't always use an eval inside the note tags, but you can sometimes. Reading. What's up, Dan with a plan? How you doing, man? Could a clock be made by having a hidden value tick up every 60 frames to simulate a second? Yeah, like that's super easy. Making a clock is super duper easy. I can make one very fast. Let's do it. Clock. Here's a clock. You need 3 variables, right? I'll delete this, so I'll just use some variables. Let's use variable 100 for hours. Let's use variable 99 for minutes, and you can use this for seconds. There we go. Let's say we're going to declare everything starts on 1 hour, 1. Well, we'll start them on 0, so we don't need to declare them. We'll just say that 0, 0, 0. Oh, what kind of clock? Do you want a timer or like a standard, like base 12 clock? You said clock, not timer, so let's make a clock. All right, we've got those variables. We're gonna add a control variable, and we're gonna say let the second add 1. We're gonna make this a parallel, and we're gonna run the clock switch. So this clock will be running as long as the thing is going, and we'll start this on the initialization event. So we don't need the shot processing. We don't need to set that yet. That would actually cause a problem if we saw that. Let's turn on the switch and turn on the clock. So now when the game starts, the clock will start as well. And what happens when the clock starts? Well, it's gonna wait 60 frames. So we're gonna do a wait 60 frames. That's 1 second. And then we're gonna add 1 to seconds, and then we run a condition, and we're gonna say conditional branch if seconds is greater than equal to 60, then we're going to control variables, and we're going to set the seconds to 0, and we're going to add 1 to the minutes value. Control variables, minutes, add 1. And then we're going to run another check inside here. Actually, outside of here. Run another conditional branch that checks after that happens if the minute hand's greater than equal to 60. And if it is, then we're going to control variables and say minutes now equals 0. Set it to 0. And we're going to add 1 to the hours. Control variables, hours, add 1. And then we're going to run another check. we're going to say conditional branch if hours is greater than or equal to 12. I mean, do you want a military clock? Do you want to keep track of days? We can go farther, but let's make it simple, right? And at that point, you're going to set it to 0, 1. We're going to change this to 1. Control variables. Yeah, it goes to 12 and then 1, because 12 is 0 and that's 4. Okay, so hours are going to be set to 1. And that's basically it, right? Every second, once the clock is started, it's going to add every 60 frames, it's going to add 1 to the seconds. If seconds are greater than or equal to 60, it's going to set them to 0, add 1 to the minutes. If the minutes go up to greater than or equal to 60, it's going to set it back to 0, add 1 to the hours. If the hours go to 12, then it's going to go back to 1. But at the initialize event, before we turn the clock on, we need to initialize those variables. Let's say we start at 1 o'clock. In fact, let's start at 12 o'clock. Let's start at noon. We'll start at noon, 12:05 and 30 seconds, just for fun. So we'll control our variables. Hours is going to start at 12. Our minutes is going to start at 5. And we'll be like 30 seconds through the minute. Just to see stuff change, right? Test it. Alright, cool. Now we've got that and all, and those numbers are going to be tracked, but how do we display them? Ye good old HUD maker. So let's add a few new components. We're going to add text. This is going to be we won't really need to say hours, minutes. So we'll just show 3 variables. This will be hour text, and it's going to show a variable what's stored inside of. See how it doesn't have it yet? We have to do something. We have to go to the game. Inside the game, we have to say OK, and we have to save the game. Then we have to go here and hit reload the project with that little purple circle. Now when we look for that variable inside of here, it will find it. So let's see, hours. And we'll use our font that we selected. And we'll put it over here. Basically copy this and paste it, except now what I'm going to do is call this minutes. Hour text, minute text, change this to be 99. I kind of want to do a line right for the hour, and then I want to do an align center and an align left for the other one. Copy this, oops, copy this, paste, put this over here. We'll make this align left. This will be second text. And it's going to show the seconds. And you can adjust this so that it looks good to you. Like this doesn't matter. You could even add a component for like a colon or something. Let's add that. Text, it's just going to be clock colon. And it'll just be like ba-down. Easy. And then you put this here, you copy this, you paste it, you put this here, and you make it however you want. You know, obviously you can make it better looking if you want to. And I could add a group for all these to be in too. Let's add a group. Add a new, where's it at? Group. This will be clock. Call this clock group. No conditions. Boom. And I'm going to put this at 0, 0, actually. Position 0, 0. And then I'm going to put all of the clock stuff in there. So let's do the hour by right-clicking and holding. I do need to save it because it can crash if you spam right-click. There it goes. And then minute, second. Like that. Let me see. Hour, :1. Minute, :2. And then that makes sense to me. There we go. And these can be underneath that since these are not in a group. Save that. Let's go to the project. Is it currently running? It's not. So let's run a test play and see if our clock works. Oh, something weird happened. Something set it to 1. Did you see that? 12 went to 1. Something is setting... Okay, I must have done something else. Something is setting hours to 1 immediately. So let's go here. What is setting hours to 1? Oh no, it needs to be 13. Because 12 is allowed. Right, so when it's greater than equal to 13, so 12 can be valid. That's what happened. Little error there. Now this has to be restarted because it was a common event change. There we go. So 12. It's 12:05 and 33 seconds. There we go. We have a clock in the game now. Super easy. Now we can toggle this to be military time and change the second one to be 24. And well, you know, the condition will be checking for 25. And it will be set back to 1. So 2400 hours, 2300 hours. Or you can have it a switch, add a switch to it. And then if the switch is on, you can have a PM show. If the switch is off, it'll have an AM show. You know, or you can do that with a variable and set the variable to text itself. That's a good thing to show off. Did you know that you don't necessarily have to initialize your variables to be numbers? Let's make an AM and PM showcase and improve the system here. Also, I want to crunch these numbers up a little bit more because there's a lot of weird spacing. Clocks are usually like a little bit more tighter and compact, giggity. So let's go here and let's start off by declaring in our clocks thing a new variable, control variable. We're going to say that this 97 is going to be AM PM. Clock AM PM. And what we're going to do is set this variable to a text value. So I'm going to use parentheses and say AM. So at the beginning of the game, I'm going to say it's in the morning or whatever. It's actually midnight. And since we're starting at 12, it actually works good. We're starting at midnight, the moon. So what does that let us do? Well, if you check the value of that variable, it's going to return the value of AM. So if we go to the HUD maker, let's make these a little more compact. This is fine. I'm going to get this one. Those are a little more compact. Okay, that's fine. What else was I gonna do? Oh, AM and PM. So let's add a new component, text, and we'll call this AM PM clock AM PM. And then what it will show is what's in the value of a variable. There's many ways to do this. Now I didn't hit save and reload, but it's still going to check it dynamically. So we're gonna look at variable and show variable 97. Confirm that. You can also show a picture if a switch is on and do it that way. And you could put this at the beginning or the end, however you want to make it look, obviously. So let's go ahead and save the game. Oh, hit OK. Save the game. Also reload. And if we look at it now, you'll see that it updated. It's clock AM PM. So let's save this and check it out again. So that looks good. It looks like I need to move the number over a little bit more. The hours. We can dynamically do that. We don't have to reload for doing something like that. Watch. Let's take the hour. No, the minute. Let's take the minute and slide it over a little bit more. Being center makes it hard to align it properly. Let's actually go align to the right. That'll make it better. Let's make this align to the right as well. So align to the right. Let's make this align to the right. This is actually going to be easier in the long run. Everything can align to the right, even the hour, which is already done. Since it's on the right hand side, I'm going to align it to the right. All right, so hour text. It's hard to see it now, but it's going to be there. If you need to do fine tuning, you can hold down the control and it'll stop the snapping. Otherwise, it'll snap to grid. I'm going to make the font size slightly bigger on that too. Or actually smaller. Let's go the other way. Cool. And we can hit save and just go in here and you'll see it updated. Still need to move them a little bit back. So I'll do that. The colon and the hour. So let's see this one. And just hit save and click back in. Updating it dynamically for when you have like making the whole string move. It would be better to draw a string, I'm thinking, instead of a bunch of different components. Let's try something more interesting with this clock and make it one long string. Giggity. So if we create a new component and we're going to show text, and this is going to be clock string. And we're going to make it show some code. So it's going to return some values. So we're going to need to return $$ game variables dot value of let me see, what is it again? What numbers is it? 97, 98, 99, 100. Those are the 4 variables. Okay. In what order? 97 first, and then 97, and then 100, 99, 98. Okay. Let's use some ES6 as well. We're going to return, instead of parentheses here, we're going to use the backticks. because we're going to return a string, but in ES6. So in order to do that, we have to do another little bit of stuff. All right, so it's fine. This is a little bit of ES6 coding, 100. And then we're going to say colon, because it's still going to return this as text. If it's not within one of these things, like if it's not encapsulated, it's going to return it as text. So we're going to return the AM PM value. Then we're going to do another one of these $sign encapsulation things, and then we're calling a game variable, so we do another $sign. It looks weird, but it works, I think. Game variables dot value, and this time we're going to do 97, and then we do this, and then we want to draw, that's the hours, no, that's the, yeah, hours. Then we want to draw the minutes after the colon, so we do another encapsulation thing, and then we do game variables dot value 98, and then we're going to do the second colon, and then we're going to do encapsulation ES6 style with $sign game variables dot value of 99. And that's going to return one long string. So it will dynamically shift and look better without having to finagle with all of the other elements. It's going to return one long string. And that's what it'll do in this font. Boom. But we need to do a condition, actually. Because at the beginning of the game, it's going to try to find those values, and if they don't exist, it'll crash. But let's see if I need to do it. I mean, you should, by good practice. All you have to do is say, if game variable values value 97, which means does this exist? If 98, if 99, if 100, then return. Else, return, you know, blank. Return nothing. Let's see if it crashes, and it might. But like if it doesn't, then I know how to fix it. So at the top, we can, what we can do for the clock group is edit and add a condition. And what we can do is make a switch, and I'll make this temporary 8. So if this switch 8 is on show, which it won't be, so it'll make the top disappear without me having to delete it. So that's just a quick little trick you can use. Like I want to not show this right now, but I don't want to delete it yet. So I'm going to just make a switch that will default off, required to be on to show inside the whole group, so none of these components will draw. I hit OK and go like this. There you go. I did the variables wrong. Okay, so it's doing the AM. I definitely did this wrong. Okay, hold on. But it is returning the variables, but will it launch the game? So let's fix it first, because sometimes it'll say this does not exist, variable does not exist. Return value 100 first. Value 100. That's hours. Oh shit, I'm stupid. We want to do 97 first, and then 100, 99, 98. 97 first, without the colon, but add a space, and then 100, 99, and 98. Hit OK, confirm, save it, and let's look. 12:12. Are we really 12 minutes in? Hold on, let me restart. It might crash because it may not know what those variables are. But it didn't. It does know what they are. There it is. Now check that out. Now that's the way you do it. No, Zarsla. Oh wait, let me show your comments so people can see what you're saying. I don't want to do it like that. That looks terrible. Looks terrible. This will make it where it has 0 for single digits. Oh, I see what you're saying. Dot pad 0. is a function. Okay, so I'm going to take your idea of using function pad 0, but I'm not going to use ES5. I want to use ES6 because I like coding ES6 better. But I like your pad 0 idea. That's great. Let's do that. All right, so let's do back into the HUD maker. Oops, that's not the HUD maker. I have like so many freaking windows open. In fact, I'm gonna delete the whole clock group, everything in it, because we're just gonna do a string. There we go. Clock string. And we'll make a requirement that the display conditions be clock switch is on. Let's see here. Clock switch be on, which it will turn on if it's running. So that means when we turn the switch off and it hides the clock, time pauses. So we can pause the time if we need to for showing stuff. But let's do Zarsla's idea of including pad 0. So we'll use my ES6 style, but we'll use Zarsla's pad 0 function, which is a good idea. So we'll use that. Shit. Go to the right spot, please. Variable 100. And we'll do pad 0 too. Dot pad 0. I forgot that function existed. I don't remember shit. That means 2 decimals. So that it always shows 2 decimals. And then colon. And then inside here, after that, we're going to extend pad 0 to value 2, colon. And then for the seconds, we also dot pad 0. As long as I didn't syntax, that'll look good. So another thing that I should go over, let's look at this first and then I'll go over the last thing. This could just update. Yeah, nice job, Zarsla. I like using pad 0. There it is. Now we have a clock and it will always look, it will always be lined up like that, you know? Why does this keep blinking? Why does it keep blinking? This is weird. Anyway. Cool. I still have the one issue that I want to fix where I can have 2 things running at once, which there shouldn't be 2 things running at once. Okay, one more thing I want to talk about. Whenever you pull values from using the HUD maker or any other external source, and you're gonna try to like display values inside of something, you're gonna try to display a value, period. You want to check if those values exist, because if they don't, it can crash when the game starts. So you can start this return an if. Or you can say if $game variables dot value 7, which means is it a value? Does it exist? So if this and let's make this bigger. Another great thing about HUD Maker. There's 4 variables. And this. So if that exists, if this exists, $99, 97, 100, 99, 98. If they all exist, if all of them exist, then we're going to return that, else return nothing. Now, why would you want to do that? So your game doesn't crash at the beginning. If this scene tries to load before game variables loads. Now, it shouldn't, but I've seen cases where that has happened. So you need to check, does this thing exist? Does this thing exist? Does this thing exist? And does this thing exist? And if all of these things exist... Oh, I see a syntax error, actually. Obviously, I have... Oh, shit. Obviously, I have more braces than I need to, but it helps me compartmentalize. Like I'm saying, this is one thing. So if this one thing returns to a value... It could be 1. It could be 0. It'll still return true if it has a value. A 0 will actually return false. So, wait, no. Wait, hold on. Does not equal null. If any of these are 0, we're gonna have a problem, aren't we? If a variable... I have a question, a simple coding question now. If a variable is equal to 0. I mean, binary says that's false, but shouldn't that return as true as well? So when these tick to 0, it'll still work, right? Because we're checking to see if it exists. Zarslo says 0 should return true because it is a value. It's not null, right? So if it exists. Anyway, let's see. We'll know when it switches over. Are we drawing 0 at any time? Yeah, we are. We're setting to 0. So when we switch over, 30 seconds in, we'll know if it works or not. Okay, confirm. Confirm. Trial and error is always the best bet. Let's restart this. Let's just restart real quick. I don't know what else I changed. Can't remember. Brain too small. Since it is a value, you're right, it is a value. But let's find out for sure. Might as well be grinding something here. It will when I save the game. I mean, right now there's no saving, but like I can easily add save. Look, it disappears. It disappears. When it says 0, it disappears. So it when it says 0, Zarsla, it's false. It reads it as false. Yeah, I'm like, wait, what? Yeah, that's interesting. Okay, so what I have to put in is some more exceptions. T!
Hello!
Hi, baby. How was your doctor's appointment?
It was fine.
Did they try to suck all your blood?
They're gonna do that later.
Oh, okay.
Some other day.
All right. We made a clock in the game.
Cool.
We got a clock, and we're drawing it like dynamically.
That's amazing.
So like, even if the numbers change, it'll still look in order and stuff. Looks cool. And we looked at a bunch of other idle games, well, a few of them, and took some ideas. I started taking a log of features.
Nice.
Mouse over, hover, window pop-ups, HP bars with damage trails. You know, like when you take damage in a fighting game and then your bar goes down, but then there's a secondary bar that slowly goes down.
Uh-huh.
That's a cool look.
Yeah.
Also, want to add player adjustable user interfaces
Hi,
and
Super
extra
Smash.
themes.
Hi, Wrath. Hi, Dan with the plan.
He made a clock
Say hi
with
to
nothing but a
everybody.
string.
Hi, Polka. And welcome back, Melody. I mean, T. That's not me. I'm not Melanie. She's stupid.
Not null. That's what I said earlier. I was like, maybe you just say if it's not null and not undefined. So we just have a long string of conditions. As long as it is a value, even if it's 0, if it's not null and not undefined, then draw the clock. Because otherwise, before it's defined, you can click play test or play your game, and then the game crashes because it tries to load the value of like variable 100 before it exists. And then, so that's what happens sometimes. So let's go ahead and put in our safety conditions. Even though we tested it without the conditions and it seems to work just fine, I still want to do that. And this and this and this and this. Then we'd go ahead and go forward. And in this case, we would say game variables value 97 does not equal null. And so we'll say all of these does not equal null. Does not equal null. Does not equal null. Does not equal null. And essentially, let's just copy this. Instead of that, paste this and say undefined. Instead of true or false, we'll just say null. As long as 97 is not null and not undefined, as well as all the other 4 variables, if they're not null and they're not undefined, then I want to return them as a string. Now, because of that, I can go like this. White space will be ignored, so you don't have to worry about that. This is more readable. But I do want the string to be read like that, because in ES6, white space is not ignored. It's counted when you're using these tacks. So we leave this long string like it is, just like that. Yeah, that looks good. Can I actually increase the font size? Not right here. Okay. Let's test it. We'll know in 30 seconds of running the game if it works. No, we knew immediately. Okay. What happened here? Hi, baby. Wait, type error. I typoed. Yep, I definitely typoed here. Wow, that is a weird one. Where did I put that? This does not equal null. This does not equal null. And this does not equal null. And this does not equal null. And forgot an and. This and 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 this. That's where the problem was. Forgot one and. All right, so it works. It doesn't crash. none of those variables are undefined, and none of those variables are null, and there's no syntax error. Is the clock going to show 0, 0 for 1 second and not disappear? I think so, because 0 is not undefined and 0 is not null. But if the game tries to load those for whatever reason out of order, it won't crash. It just won't try to show the clock. So that's actually good coding. There it is. We did it, guys. That's going to be the end of today's live stream. I don't have any more time for any more questions today, but thank you so much for tuning in. Appreciate you. Now it says, is it possible to just say check one of those game variables is null? It's not null and undefined. If one exists, then rest should exist, hopefully. Well, you don't know what order it's going to check them, Nowis. So you can be looking for 97 and it checks 100 first, and then it crashes. So you really need to be extensive and say, if you're going to try to display 4 variables in a string, make sure all 4 of those variables exist before you try to draw an undefined or a null in a string. Drag actually taught me that. Really good coder. Thank you guys. Have a good one. We'll see you guys on Monday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we have a first impression. We're going to be playing Stay Awake Games first impression. I forgot the name of it, but stay tuned on the Discord, and it will be posted, and we'll be doing that.
Cool.
And yeah, enjoy your weekend, everybody. Much love.
Yeah, it's Friday.
Yeah.
Friday.
I'm gonna go buy an accordion in a few hours.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go.
We found a used one.
Under the sea, under the sea. Everything's better down where it's wetter. Something for free.
Are you gonna learn that song on the accordion?
Yeah, I'm gonna learn that one.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and some other like French tunes probably, because why not? I like having fun. Bye bye, everybody.
Bye.